What's up, CHFFL? Welcome back to the 2019 pre-draft outlooks. So far, we've covered three teams. Today, we're going to do Grant, Roy, and Brad. So just to remind everybody what the tier list looks like so far, I gave Mark an A for having Nick Chubb as a keeper and a lot of other good keeper options, an extra third-round pick, and I think an extra fifth, although he recently made a trade to swap that for a sixth, but doesn't really make much of a difference. Gave Max a B, and Parker's down there in the C range. So let's start out today with Grant's team. Grant, had the first acquisition of a second-round pick mid-season, but he got very unlucky through the draft lottery because that pick ended up being pick 12 of the second round because Marty got number 1 overall. It actually is hurting his grade for me because his draft lottery was pick 11 around 1, which means he's not going to have any of those top end guys, and this is a lot of the reason why we're moving away from the draft lottery starting next year. As far as keepers go, I updated these yesterday, so they're pretty up to date. Derrick Henry, he can keep in round 7. It's a 34 difference between Fantasy Pros expert consensus rankings and where he'd be picking him, so that's an easy one. David Njoku, probably going to take 2 there in the 10th round and just get his tight end out of the way. Christian Kirk is one of those close ones that he could keep or he could not keep. Kirk's a young guy, so if he keeps him in round 8, he could be worth having in round 6 last year, but he also might still be able to get him around there. So we'll see what he takes there. Considering the extra second round pick, I'd like to put Grant up into the A tier with Mark, but I just can't because he doesn't have any higher picks, and the second round pick is really close to a third. So I'm putting Grant as a B+, right above Max. I'm just going to have a little more depth without the middle of his board being picked apart like Max's is. So let's move on to Roy now. Roy with a pretty good draft board. It's like he has an extra 7th there, I see, and an extra 10th instead of his 12th and 13th. So just a little bump. That doesn't make too much of a difference either way. But Roy has a couple of really good keepers. Juju Smith-Schuster, he can still have in the 6th round. Juju's he's ranked around, I've seen him around 12 to 16 overall in PPR. ECR has him at 14. That's a big difference, and that's basically a late first-round guy. He's able to have Chris Godwin. He can have back in the 10th round. And Godwin's ranked somewhere in the low 40s most of the time right now. So that's another really good one. With the draft board being fine to above fine and 2 really good keepers, I like Roy a lot this year. I'm putting him up not quite as high as Mark in that A- range. One more team today. We got Brad. Brad didn't make any draft pick trades, I don't believe. His is still his regular board. And he has a few different options on keepers. Most of them are iffy, and I don't know if he'll go for them. The easy ones are Aaron Jones. You can keep him in round 8, pick 88. Jones is this is one of those keepers I love because people aren't sure what to think of Jones this year. Some people think he could take over as the Packers' regular guy on the goal line, like a 3-down back. So his ECR right now is 36, but it's that kind of high upside guy that you love to use a keeper on because there's no risk. So that's really good. Cooper Kupp, just Tariq Cohen. Zach Ertz, he's probably going to keep in round 4. I think he just made a trade with West. This number might be out of date. I think he moved down to 45 to take him, giving him even a little more value there. And then Baker, I don't know if I would keep a keeper in the 8th or use a keeper on a quarterback in the 8th round or not. Well, that's going to be up to him. Either way, I like Brad this year a lot. He's one of my favorite teams in the High Seas Conference, but I still have to give him a B- because even Aaron Jones being a good keeper isn't as good as Max's Damian Williams, and I just couldn't justify putting him even with Max. This really shows Brad getting a B- that the league is stronger this year than it was last year because he would have been in the BB+ range in my last year's projections. So either way, still a really good chance to come away with the first round bye for the High Seas Conference for Brad. So that's all we got for today. We get 3 more teams. Hopefully I'll get another video tomorrow. I know I took a couple of days off, but we'll get them in time for the keeper deadline, which is August 14th, 9 p.m. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash that like button. We'll see you next time.